Hello guys, welcome back to Trust Shit. Hello Tulu. Today we're going to be talking about inheritance. So is it a privilege or is it an entitlement? So guys, what do you guys think about inheritance in general? What do you see the meaning of inheritance?
Okay, I think that before, years and years ago, inheritance was a birthright, okay? You were born a male or a female, depending on what culture you're from, and you're automatically entitled to your parents' wealth when they pass away. But I think now things have moved, things have evolved past that stage where I, for one, believe that inheritance is a privilege and not an entitlement or a birthright. I don't know what you guys think, but that's how I see it. You can't, you have to be able to look after your parents for you to, you know, think that you're going to get anything from them in terms of an inheritance from them. You cannot abandon your parents. You know, if you're outside, if you don't live in the same state or the same country as your parents, you cannot abandon them wherever they are, and then you're just waiting for them to kick the bucket, and all of a sudden you're going to go.
But then what if, for example, let's say, okay, you live in a different part of the world before. Yeah, you came to, let's say, the Western world. Let's say, for example, you're the only child. Your parents, obviously, it's okay. They send you abroad to work. Okay, you fall in love with someone, you marry. Unfortunately, you can't go back because you have a settled, you have a family, a young family, and it's not possible. Your parents become ill. So are you saying that technically, because you're not with your mother or your father looking after them 24/7, you're not supposed to get anything?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. There's a difference between being there for your parents and looking after your parents, and a difference between where would you be in the world and you cannot go back to your home country to visit.
I think my take on it is that why should you even expect them to give you anything?
I mean,
hold on.
Yeah.
Because the understanding is, or the way I was raised, is that my parents, my dad, my mother, invested in education. And that, for once, should set you in the right pathway. And and I'm going to be saying it the way he said it. I don't owe you guys anything. I've invested so much in you. The money, whatever I have, is for myself and my wife. Now, heaven forbid, I really don't want him to die yet. But I'm sure if he passes on, he has a will. He'll just right by his children. But I don't expect for him to give me all that he's worked his life for. Do you understand? But the rationale is that we're now in the 21st century where people think it is my rights.
Your birthright, yeah.
I think because it's gone back, because since industrialization and the ability, it's now easy to make wealth. So anybody, it's gone are the days it was only a certain people that had all the power. Now technology and the way the world works, anybody can be anything anytime. But they call us the millennials, and we're apparently the first generation that wouldn't be as wealthy as our parents, because property, inflation, recession, and all of that. So I think there was a think tank in 2016 that said 1 in 6, don't quote me, 1 in 6 millennials are waiting for their parents to die in order to have a house. That's the only way that they could even get on the property ladder by their parents dying. However, besides that, I agree. Okay, taking it back to what you said, you don't need to physically be there to look after your parents. You could send money. You could make communication without actually being there. Sometimes you could be there and still be useless. Going back, I think most African households have been told from the day they were born, your inheritance is your education. Education doesn't only mean going to school.
Not most African households. I don't think so. I don't know, because at the end of the day, not all parents have the money to take their children to the kind of school that you guys.
That's what I was going to say. Education does not does not mean a physical school. Education in the way the world works. So even a mum of a child that sells in a market, you bring that child to the market with you, and the child learns the skills of making money every day. Once you pass that on to your children, you are setting them up for life. You're teaching them how to make money. Like my dad is working himself into the ground in order to leave us inheritance, and we're like, Dad, we're good. We're good. We don't enjoy the money you have. Like, do whatever you have given us, the tools and the wisdom we need in order to make wealth for ourselves.
But don't you think that's the old-fashioned way that's stuck in him?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, he would have been brought up, as you said, differently.
Yes.
Where his parents would have
Left
probably
something for
said,
him.
yeah, you're my first son or whatever.
Yeah.
This is what, and I think the older generation just feel that they need to. Even though, as you say, we're more modern. We know, okay, well, if we have an education or if we have a business or whatever, we don't have to worry. But it's the same with my dad. Like, my dad is 82. And, you know, the same. He's like fretting. He's like, oh, I need to make this will. And I'm just sitting there the same like you. Like, Dad, why are you worried? You should be enjoying the last few years because you don't know what's going to happen.
think
But
the
that
No,
doesn't mean you still can't write a will, though.
No, but what I'm
You can
saying,
still
but I
write a
think,
will, but at the same time enjoy
Obviously,
it.
because he's
Yeah,
not
but
going to
he's not
take.
enjoying this money.
There'll be a will because you can't take your houses and your cars to. But I'm saying, like, you don't need to be building this house in Ikorodu. Ain't nobody gonna move to Ikorodu.
It's you know the thing about it is
Okay,
I
so
think the
because your
pressure.
parents are here as well, aren't they?
Yes.
So nobody's gonna go back there to leave. So there's no point.
like my dad is building a house in Nigeria. Dad,
Yeah.
well, enjoy your money.
Yeah.
You can build a house because obviously now, like my parents' generation, they're tired of this country. They want to go back to the sunny.
To retire,
Winter's getting cold.
Yeah, the winter's coming.
So they want to go and retire. So you can build a little bungalow for yourself
For you to live.
for you to live. But don't be like building no mansion. It doesn't make
No,
sense.
to be honest, I don't subscribe to people building too many rooms. Like we've got a 7-bedroom house, and it's just me, my daddy, just my dad and my mom. We all don't live at home. We don't even live in the country.
But there was a time you guys lived in that house.
That's
though.
what I'm saying. Yeah, but it's not got to a stage where you just like you're gathering dust, man. Like, scale it down.
And then you know what? They start looking for people to fill up that space and
Gathering more.
But then, guys,
people,
let's go back
borders.
to what about those ones that want their parents to die because they already spent that money mentally in their head.
Yes, yes.
And
But
you know
then
what?
it's also the parents' fault because obviously they didn't educate their children. Okay, so there was something I was listening. I can only remember a couple of names: Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. They're out of their billions. They're only going to leave a small percentage of their children, enough to get them to start something, but not enough to live on for the rest of their life, because they believe that they've given their children the tools in order to make wealth. But which I agree, and I was saying even from Africa, because that's what I know. How many people of the wealthy? How many in the Western world we can name all the? You've got lists, the Hiltons, old money.
Yeah.
How many names can we name of old money in Nigeria?
No, I think hold on. It's just not about the don't even mention it. Don't even go there because obviously there's a lot of politics.
Yeah, well, there is.
So don't even
Whose
go
money
there.
is it?
I think in that case, Chalu, what I would think is that culturally, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, their thinking is different. Growing up as Africans or the Nigerians, the mindset is that to know how successful you are is what you've left for your children.
Yes.
So we're still riding on that coattail
The whole culture.
of I need to do this, I need to smash my head, get this,
And you need to prove.
But the thing about it is if you fail to prepare your children,
It's easy to get money, but it's not easy to keep the money.
Yeah.
Because
we have a lot of Shari, we have a lot of people that have money, but the problem is wealth.
Yeah.
Money, well, two
Two
different
different
things.
things. It's true. But then, what I was gonna say, because as you say, even though you guys come from, Africa, I come from kind of similar background. But then the thing is, it's like if you die and don't leave your family anything, that's another cross.
That's another embarrassment.
That's
isn't it?
another embarrassment because then what happened is that the family sit there now. This is not your immediate family. I'm talking about your uncles, your aunts, and then they'll be there thinking, but hold up, what did you do in life
That's
What's
even
the-
it.
For
Yeah,
you
yeah.
to not, because the thing is, my grandfather is a good example of that. He was very wealthy, very rich. I mean, when he gambled, apparently he gambled with land, gold. I'm talking big time gambling. And the thing is, this man was so big. Everyone respected him. As I say, he snapped his fingers. He had servants, and that's how he met my grandmother. You know, she was basically someone apparently that was cooking for him and stuff. So that just show how powerful this man was. And when he died, literally, he died with nothing. When I mean nothing. And all these big players that he was with, none of them really came to the funeral, because how they looked at it was, well, you have nothing to offer me. And not only that, at the after the funeral,
Yeah,
there's,
but
even if there's a
He
will,
had
there's
money, but he
nothing
wasn't
there.
wealthy.
He had money, he had money, he wasn't wealthy.
He wasn't wealthy.
And that still goes on about culture.
Yeah, so
It plays a huge.
there wasn't an inheritance. And even so, I'm liking the Odutolas of this world, because okay, people can say, okay, for example, DJ Poppy, you say, oh, but your dad is. Listen, I think as parents, it is our duty to give our if we can give our children a leg up.
Yeah.
It's not our duty to hold them up.
Yeah.
So even if Odutola opened the door, it's for Copy to keep the door open.
Yeah, whether the song is good or not, she's trying.
She is trying. So I think
The
that's
song
a good
is another
example.
kettle of fish.
But
But
anyway,
let's move
but
on.
she's trying.
But you can
Yeah.
see her trying. She could just be like many other
No, she
other
could stay as a DJ.
millionaires,
She's
a
billionaires
fantastic
in
DJ.
Nigeria
No,
that
no,
we just know the name, but what are the kids doing?
Yeah.
They're just spending their kids. But we can see them as examples, whether it's Copy or is it
Temi,
yeah.
Temi J2O Fashion.
And the other
We
lady,
can see,
I can't remember her name.
yeah, the older sister. We
Yeah.
can see that they're trying to make a way for
Yeah,
themselves in
yeah.
life, and I think that's
So
how
fair
it should.
enough,
They're
yeah.
not waiting for daddy to kick the bucket
Okay,
and
yeah.
then they can relax on the. They're
And
trying.
Can I just say, this inheritance matter is a very, very serious matter for a lot of people back home in Africa. People are waiting for someone in their family to die for them to get a come up, yeah? Especially, as you said, not just in the UK where you're saying, people are waiting for their parents or grand or whatever to die for them to go onto the property ladder. Same thing goes in Africa as well. People are waiting for their fathers to die and for the property to be shared. And from their own life and
But
start to raise
isn't
their
that,
own
isn't that
family.
failure of parenting?
It is.
Yeah, that's what I was
The
gonna
thing
ask.
is, not everybody has the same upbringing, yeah?
No,
not
no.
everybody has the same
I'm gonna-
upbringing, and not
hold
all
on.
children are the same. You can force a horse to the river, you can't force it to drink water.
If God forbid,
Yeah.
if I had a child that I felt wasn't gonna be responsible with the money, they're not getting nothing.
Exactly. So how do you
Before I
do
die-
that?
no,
How do you do
before-
that?
Before I die or my husband die, our children should not even need our money. I believe that we should have given them the tools that even before we die, they'll probably have more money than us. That is my wish.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop your children seeing it the other way around,
Yes.
thinking,
Yeah.
but that's my mom and my dad money. No one else should.
But if we've
get that
raised,
money.
if we've raised our children right and they're wealthier than us while we're living, they're not waiting for my money.
Yeah, but some people are still greedy, my dear. That's what I'm trying
No,
to
no, no,
say.
let's look at it this way. I can't remember where I read this. I don't remember. It was something that's been floating around social media, where I think it was Warren Buffett that went for dinner, and he tipped the staffers maybe $10 a
Yes,
victim, and
yeah.
the guy was like, "Oh, the last time your child was here, he tipped us $1,000," and it was like, "Well, my child's father is a multi-billionaire. My father was not as rich as this." So what I'm trying to take out of this is that when you present your children with opportunities, as parents, that is what is expected of you. Present
So
your
be
child
careful.
with not just be careful. Prepare your children or provide them with opportunities that will take them to that place. That they don't really need to wait for a handout from you. But that being said, we have some irresponsible children
Yeah.
that you have set them up and they have failed to move. In that instance, I wouldn't say I would not leave. I pray to God I don't have kids like that. But
Yeah.
you need to have something.
You need
in
them
place.
something
Maybe
to
trust.
Pray
Yeah,
that they will change their ways, but not for them. You won't leave them enough that they could just.
No,
end
I
their
wouldn't
days on
even
your
leave
money.
them. No, I wouldn't leave such a child my legacy. I might put something in place that this child does not become an issue to the society, does become an embarrassment. We've seen a situation
Oh,
where
we've
people
seen a lot
have
of
trust,
that. Yeah.
have put money in bonds and shares and say at the end of this year or at the end of this month, this is certain amount you need to give to this person. It shows how irresponsible, ill-prepared that child is
Yeah,
for their
true.
parents' passing.
But the question now is this thing an entitlement, or so what would you do in the sense where a parent has to write a will? Their children are probably not looking after them. They've left them at the mercies of relatives back home or wherever back home is. what for a child like that, do you think they're still entitled to that parent's wealth? Or do you think the relatives who looked after after their parents
But then you
should
see-
be entitled to that wealth?
That's
The thing
tricky
about it is
because
it's not tricky. It's just you making up your mind what you decide to do.
Yeah.
I birthed this child.
I would
wouldn't
just
want
say-
the child to die or child of miracle.
I would just say-
Hold on, Sharon.
yeah.
I don't want the child to be a nuisance to the society. So that's why there's a will. I might give this child 1% of what I own, and we've seen where instances where people have sort of given their dogs
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
or
Cats.
and a cat and
Yeah.
given their child 1% or 2%. So I wouldn't knock that child. At the end of the day, that child is a reflection of you, whether they're good or bad.
Bad, yeah.
Something you didn't do.
Well, all I would say is that, you know, as you rightfully say, is how we parent our kids. But again, kids could go whichever way they
Well,
want.
yeah.
So my honest opinion would be leave a will.
Yes,
Just
yeah.
leave a clear will, so there's no argument and no unclear business before you die, so that everything is straightforward. If you feel if it's your kids or your family or whoever is looking after you, I think that's up to that person's.
Sorry, can I just say,
Opinion.
you're saying leave a will, that's very right and good, yeah? But from where I'm from Edo State, whether you leave a will or not, the first son is coming to inherit the property. Whether you're leaving a will or not, the first son is getting it, and that's it.
We'll touch
Whether
on
you
this
leave a
another
will or
time.
not, the first son is coming, and whether he was looking after the parent or not, he's coming in and he's getting it.
But is that law?
So, huh?
Is that law?
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah,
that
for-
law.
for-
But
Abiding.
is it law? Is it tradition? There's a difference.
It's tradition.
So
And
But is that a law though?
if it's,
Or is
It's
it
just
just
traditional.
But if the
law.
will,
It's about traditional.
if the will is
Binding,
is
yeah.
binding, then
Yes.
the law has
Yes,
a,
but
that
no,
will.
but we're not. We need to. There are other things that implicate. So sometimes the traditional law will go over the legal law. I'm telling you. Okay,
Well,
go and
as
do
I
the
say-
research.
but it's not a
Guys,
portion.
Yes,
Exactly.
But guys, we'll have to wrap it up there because as I say we could go on and on and on about this topic. Please leave us a comment what you think is your opinion. You know, is it a birthright? Is it entitlement? Is it privilege? Whatever, you guys just leave us a note. And probably if you guys want us to trash this topic further, let us know. But thank you for joining us and bye for now.